you want a dog, running around and causing problems. So I definitely came into the room a lot and you guys, we got to figure out how to incorporate Alex saying I won't be ignored, in a different context that still feels organic. So, the writers probably got tired of me being like, and this.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, this didn't play out at all how I thought it was going to. I was like, I got this figured out. Goodness, that last episode threw me. I mean, phenomenal work, phenomenal. But I'd love to know where the idea to adapt such a well-known movie came from. And then, you have to switch it up a little.
Right. I was lucky enough, maybe because of the kind of shows I've done in the past that have heightened storytelling in certain aspects, Desperate Housewives, Dirty John, that Paramount actually reached out and asked me, actually through Kevin, who was working on a show of theirs at the time, asked me if I was interested. And I initially was terrified, and then rewatched it. And it is such a great, enduring movie that nevertheless leaves you with a lot of questions that you have the luxury of answering. If you're allowed to do a series version, you can do the deeper dive to try to at least answer some of the questions you yourself were asking. So that's where it came from, is I was lucky enough to be asked.
Silver, how was it joining this? What made you want to be a part of it?
Really, these two. I'm a huge fan of the original film. And like Alex has mentioned, I think we were all had the same initial reaction to trying to reimagine a story that is so iconic and was so culturally significant. So it was definitely outside of at least my comfort zone to just say, sure, let's do it. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And once I knew the cast that was involved, I was absolutely sure that the performances were going to be fantastic. So, and great writing, great actors, couldn't lose.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about the cast because, Joshua and Lizzie have some really big shoes to fill, and yet they pull it off. So can you talk about bringing them on?
I had met Lizzie before this was even on the horizon, and had thought to myself, I need to get on a project where there's a part that I could reasonably offer her, and maybe she might say yes. And I would lie if I said that wasn't an element of why I ultimately said yes to this, as I thought to myself, if I offered her Alex Forrest, she would have to at least talk to me. And obviously that is what happened. So I wrote it for her in mind, not knowing if she would be available. And for a second, it looked like she wasn't. And that was terrifying. And then Josh is part of the fabric of our lives in a way, because he's been so good for so long that actually right before I came on board this, I watched Dr. Death, and he completely transformed himself for me and was in the forefront of my mind when we went into this, because I had never seen him like that before. And he made a fully fledged character out of a real person who has never spoken about why they did anything they did. And I was riveted. And so when he was available and wanted to talk about it honestly, even though it's all on screen and no one can take it away from me, I'm still sort of scared that it's not going to happen.
I will say, too, the way this ends, I feel like you could continue. There could be more. There could be another story. Do you have anything floating around in your head as to where it could possibly go?
Short answer, yes.
Well, I want it, please. So.
Awesome. I want to give it to you.
One thing I love, too, is all the little things that are stuck in here, like the rabbit, little things like that. So how was it going through the movie? Okay, we have to include this, even though we're changing the story up.
In the writer's room, that came up a lot. There were a lot of things that I was like, you guys, we have to have. Obviously the bunny is first among equals, but you want an elevator. You want some acid on a car. There are a lot of things that you want. You want a dog, running around and causing problems. So I definitely came into the room a lot and you guys, we got to figure out how to incorporate Alex saying I won't be ignored, in a different context that still feels organic. So, the writers probably got tired of me being like, and this.
Awesome. Well, that's my time. And thank you guys so much. And congratulations. Seriously, it was so good.
Thank you.
Yo.